Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today, and today the Los Angeles Clippers have signed Chris Paul, 12-time All-Star, 5-time assist champ, 6-time steal champ, 11-time All-NBA, and 9-time All-Defensive team to a one-year, $3.6 million deal, and Chris Paul is headed back to the Clippers, where he played 6 seasons, playing 409 starts, averaging 19 points per game. Also, in LA, averaged nearly 10 assists per game. And that was the prime of Chris Paul's career, was in Los Angeles. With the Clippers, he averaged, a little bit over 2 steals per game as well. And so, one of their best franchise players in their career, in their franchise, is Chris Paul. And now he is back in LA. But I think one of the most interesting things about this deal is Chris Paul. I'd say the 3 most interesting things about this deal is Chris Paul headed back to the Clippers against to be with his old team. Then you've also got the fact Chris Paul and James Harden on the same team. After Chris Paul got traded from the Rockets, as a Rockets fan, I never thought I would be saying that again. Then you've also got Chris Paul and Bradley Beal on the same team. After those two were traded for each other just a couple of seasons ago, Bradley was traded for Paul in the Suns-Wizards trade. And now they're on the same team. It's kind of like last year. The Clippers have done that twice in a row now with two different trades. Last year they signed Ben Simmons and reunited James Harden and Ben Simmons from that trade that we saw Harden for Simmons, and they played on the same team after the blockbuster deal. Now we see these guys on the same team, Paul and Beal. But I like this signing, even though Paul is old and 40 in his last. He's probably going into his last season. He averaged 9 points per game and 7 assists per game this season. He still shoots well from 3, 37% this year, so can still shoot the ball, can still be such a great facilitator. I think it's going to be really hard for Paul to play minutes, and I think he very well might want to end his career in LA. One of the plays, I wouldn't say he's not ending his career the place it started, but he's ending his career where the best memories happen, where he played his best basketball. Now, sure, he's not going and ending it where it started. That is what some guys like to do potentially. But he's going to where he played his best basketball, and he's reuniting with some old teammates too. Reuniting with James Harden. That's for starters. So I don't know if there are any other. I want to say Nicholas Batum as well, but I could be wrong there. And I'm not sure if there's anyone else on the list. There probably is. But James Harden is definitely the guy he's being reunited with. And this is a Clippers team that has a lot of veterans on it. They've got Paul. They've got Harden. They've got Beal and Kawhi and Brook Lopez. But then you've got some younger guys who are, some hoopers that I really like. I really love Zubac. Just had a breakout season this year. I really like the addition of John Collins. It's with James Harden. The thing I will say, the Clippers have 2 really good lob threats in John Collins and Ivica Zubac. And then on the other end, you've got 2 great facilitators and passers like Chris Paul and James Harden. That is great right there. Hard on the floor with John Collins and Zubac. Harden's such a good facilitator, having Collins and Zubac to lob the ball to, or CP3 having those 2 guys to lob the ball to. That's going to be really fun to watch. It's going to be really fun to watch Paul and Harden on the same floor again, and in the same environment again after everything that happened in Houston. That was an ugly exit for Paul leaving Houston. Let me know your thoughts on the signing for the Clippers, signing Paul to a one-year, $3.6 million deal in the comment section, and peace out.